There's something really funny about people who are like, we hate the status quo, so we're just going to do the most like status quo defending right-wing thing that you can do. Wait, I want to watch this Vice video actually. Where is the Vice video?
Non ha bisogno di presentazioni. Siete qui per lei. Vi prego di accogliere con un applauso che merita la Presidente di Fratelli d'Italia, Giorgia Meloni.
We're here in the town of Perugia in central Italy, where right now Giorgia Meloni is holding a rally before this country's election. Meloni is young, she's well-spoken, she's charismatic, and politically she's very far to the right. She's widely expected to be the next prime minister of this country.
Perché non verrò a raccontarvi balle, vi dirò la realtà, la verità di come vedo l'attuale condizione italiana. Il declino non è un destino.
If Meloni wins this
what?
weekend's election, it'll be a welcome change to people like 23-year-old Giuseppe Carbonaro, who drove an hour to see her.
Shut up. This man's last name is Carbonaro, dude. No, not a real country. I take it back. Stop it. I mean, dude, this is like, no, you can't do this to me personally, okay? You are like, Hasan, stop making fun of Italians. And then there are whole ass people with the last name Giuseppe Carbonara. Hey, I'm Giuseppe Carbonara over here. What do you want me to do? I'm human, dude. This is insanity. It's like naming a German guy Pretzel Schnitzel, dude. Hey, I'm John Spaghetti over here. Gabish! Hey! Oh, Jesus Christ.
Speak. Why are you supporting Giorgia Meloni in this election?
Credo molto nei principi di Fratelli d'Italia, Dio, patria, famiglia, la salvaguardia dei confini. Sono importanti l'aiuto alle imprese, quindi adoro questa leader e spero che diventi presto la nostra premier del Consiglio.
Meloni's party, the Brothers of Italy, won only 4% of the vote in the 2018 election. But when other right-wing parties joined the governing coalition, she stayed in the opposition and has since become a conservative superstar.
I see the woke ideology. Will we surrender in front of this?
This is my favorite thing that like fascists do. They come to America and then they like shit on globalism, which is like, yo, you're in America. First of all, it is the major supporter of globalism, historically speaking, okay? Not only that, but you're talking to Americans in America about how globalism sucks. What do you mean? You're doing that. You're doing the globalism. Like Viktor Orban did this shit too.
No! Sì alla famiglia natural. No allo lobby LGBT.
LGBT!
Nella quale le persone che hanno dovuto abbassare la testa per tanti anni, facendo magari finta che la pensavano in maniera diversa, se no sarebbero stati tutti cacciati, possano dire come la pensano.
Those ideas, along with her party's controversial orgies, have many worried about the kind of government she would.
Wait, was the homie just throwing up the fucking...
Along with her party's controversial
What's this guy doing?
orgies.
Well, wonder what's happening there, dude. He's just straight up doing it. Hey, it's a history. It's the Roman salute. If anything, Nazis took that from us, huh? Hey, you bullshit. We made that.
Have many worried about the kind of government she would lead.
Miss Meloni, are you trying to bring fascism back to Italy? Just one question.
By the way, I love that. Steven Crowder showed a piece of this video, like just a bitty piece of it, and then immediately was like, they're not fascist.
I fascisti sono morti tutti. Dove sono I fascisti?
Meloni's political career began in the Italian social movement, a party that was founded by fascist allies of Benito Mussolini after the dictator was killed at the end of World War II. Today, Meloni's Brothers of Italy is a direct descendant of that party, even sharing the same tricolor flame logo and headquarters. Her supporters are also latching on to the past, out of frustration with the present. Youth unemployment is among the highest in Europe, and small towns like the one Carbonaro lives in are emptying out.
So Giuseppe, you grew up here.
Niente, sono cresciuto in queste mura e quindi vorrei che San Sepolcro tornasse ad essere una città importante. Si legge nei libri di storia che l'Italia è stato uno dei paesi più importanti, il centro
Yeah, that overarching like feeling of shame. God, it's such a good way to instill psychotic nationalist sentiment. Like, you have been wronged by, especially the Germans, you know what I mean? You've been wronged by the Germans during World War II for your allegiances. That was kind of fucked up, right? And then also you've been wronged again by Germans and their, neoliberal machine in the form of EU. You're no longer as like important in the global economy. It used to mean something. It used to mean something to be Italian, you know?
del commercio sia nel mondo che in Europa.
And you think that Giorgia Meloni and the Brothers of Italy are the ones to fix that?
Credo che Giorgia Meloni possa dare un futuro a noi giovani.
Meloni says she wants to revive Italy's economy through policies like cutting taxes, encouraging citizens to have more kids, and making it harder for foreigners to open businesses. Meloni has also teamed up with the far-right League Party.
I love that last part. It's like, how do we save this country's economy? By cutting taxes and also not making not allowing immigrants to open businesses. Like, okay, it seems weird, but kind of seems like contradicting, but who knows, dude? Doesn't she want to cut UBI and shit too?
And its leader, Matteo Salvini, who spent years...
Or like she wants to cut welfare too, I thought.
Immigrants. Their Italy First agenda is appealing to Carbonaro and his friends. I think many people might be surprised to hear that you're supporting parties that are not just right-wing, they're far right-wing.
Non per forza se una persona vota a destra è un fascista o ancor peggio un razzista. Il mio interesse è che venga guidata una nazione da persone cui hanno a cuore veramente.
It's just so funny because all three of these dudes would get hate crimed in Germany for being Turkish. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that they do that in Germany, okay? But like, you know, if they walked into the wrong AFD bar, they would literally be like, get the fuck out of here. But it's like, yeah, we want the white Italianos. You know what I mean? We need to save Italy. They need to be white. It's like, bro, do you see yourself? Like,
Veramente la nazione.
Non sono assolutamente fascista, anzi, ho compagni di calcio neri, di colore.
he said he is. He's like, how can I be fascist? I have black soccer teammates.
Come famiglia abbiamo due fratellini adottati di colore. Quindi per noi non ci sono razze di distinzione. Il fascismo, secondo me, è finito nel 45.
Io non sono d'accordo. Secondo me il pericolo c'è, ce l'abbiamo sotto l'occhio, nella Russia. Il pericolo che possa risuccedere in Gran Casino c'è e mai,
Vabbè, però ha ragione.
e mai come oggi, secondo me. Ma non questo toglie...
Bro, okay, if you're confused, by the way, if you're confused by this, once again, understand that we are all products of our social development and our upbringing. And this is what happens when you're a fucking NATO-pilled fascist, okay? Like, and for the Italian development, for the post-World II development of the Italian right, NATO plays a fundamental role, which is where this comes from. That's why they're like NATO-pilled to the fucking gills. And they're like, yeah, well, the real fascism could happen in Russia. By the way, make no mistake, I'm not even saying that that's not the case. I think that, like, Russia's hyper-nationalist takes, specifically by Vladimir Putin and his cronies and its fucking unjustifiable war in Ukraine, is certainly fucked up. You guys already know this. I've talked about this many times over. But it is interesting because they depart from other pro-Russia fascist movements that you see around the planet. And and the reason for that is because of their own unique history.
Che debba vincere la destra o no?
But are you worried that her very...
Also, someone saying, like, Italians are not racist, look, we have black soccer players, is pretty funny. You know, because Italian hooligans, not really big fans of the black soccer players. Like, I'm just saying. Like, it's just kind of weird that he just dropped that in there when you can find, like, a million examples of, like, Italian hooligans, like, throwing bananas at Balotelli or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not great. Not great.
Anti-immigrant rhetoric is inflaming tensions in Italy and making the situation more dangerous for migrants, refugees, people of color in Italy today.
Se, dato che comunque sia Meloni, Salvini è quasi 10 anni che fanno
It's called football. Stop pandering to your American side and embrace their Turkish side. Football. Bro, the C word is bubbling up.
questi discorsi. Se ci fossero dei condizionamenti in negativo sugli italiani e su possibili atteggiamenti razzisti da parte di italiani, questi si sarebbero già visti.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if they had racism, they would have seen it already. But they don't. Owned.
Those attitudes are already having an effect. In July, a Nigerian man named Alika Oguchukwu was beaten to death by a white Italian man, while onlookers recorded the incident on their phones. The video then circulated widely on social media. The attack hit close to home for Omar Federa, who immigrated to Italy from Gambia 8 years ago.
We are friends, I know him. They just watch, take their phone, making video. He is killing him, beating him to death. Nobody says stop.
What did you think when you were watching the video?
It's the same thing happened to me. Just luckily me, I don't die on that day.
4 years before his friend's killing, Federa was one of 6 African migrants shot by a white supremacist. The shooter cited anti-immigrant motives for the attack and had previously run for office as a candidate of the League Party. After the attack, he was arrested standing in front of a Mussolini-era war memorial while draped in an Italian flag and making the fascist salute. So how does it feel like for you as a black man in Italy today?
You are not safe. You are not safe and you are not valid. You're just like a dog.
Do you think the racism that you've experienced in this country, do you think it's getting worse?
Yeah, it's getting worse because before it's not like this. But after, when they start to say these kind of things start to change. Every politician you see in this world, he have his way to play to make his politics so that he convince people to vote for him. Immigrant. Okay, Italia is for us. It's a game.
But for you, it's a lot more than a game.
More than game. It's people life, you understand. Not only me, but people are here in Italy.
In recent months, the Brothers of Italy has toned down its rhetoric, trying to project a more polished image of itself, especially on the international stage.
Quindi bisogna stare attenti a quello che si dice. Dice Ciabrana TV americana, attenti a quello che diciamo perché dovete spiegare a tutti, occhio a quello che dichiariamo perché dillo a tutti.
That new image was on full display at this fundraiser for party candidate Guido Castelli.
Quindi l'importante è usare quello che possiamo fare per completare il lavoro di Giorgia Meloni, non facendo errori, abbiamo il mondo addosso.
You keep mentioning Giorgia Meloni. What do you think is her appeal exactly?
Se devo rispondere in una parola, la coerenza. La coerenza è una virtù apprezzata. Noi abbiamo 2 problemi. La democrazia che si è inceppata.
They did it. I'm from Vicenza, a city north in Italy, and the average man was a local town farmer, Massiliao, and these people were discriminatory even against Southern Italians, which they referred to as North Africans. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought like Sicilians were always discriminated against for having darker skin, and that even internally inside of Italy, they consider Southern Italians to be like, they literally call them black. That's partially the history of like Italians are not white meme comes from, for the record. Yeah. So there is also like internal racism as well.
Che si è bloccata da troppi anni e in secondo luogo il fatto che la gente ha perso la voglia di credere, è spesso demoralizzata.
But many people are also saying that Brothers of Italy is fascist, even neo-fascist.
Not black, you're making that up? No, not like, no, but the same kind of racism towards black people. Like that they're darker skin. There's an old saying, Africa begins at Rome. There's a racist phrase that is said by these nationalists that call Southern Italians the N-word, basically. Not only Sicilians, everything below Rome is Terroni, which is a derogatory term for South Italians. It's the Moors, by the way. Not black. Terroni's a bad word. Sud people. Swarthy, right? Yeah, swarthy.
Is it? Is it a fascist party?
No, assolutamente no, assolutamente no.
But there is a direct line from the Italian social movement, which was founded by supporters of Mussolini's fascism. Both you and Miss Meloni were members of the Italian social movement. How do you explain that?
Io sono stato parte dell'MSI come Giorgia Meloni anche. Secondo me agli italiani non interessa questo aspetto, è più un aspetto che riguarda una certa sinistra che cerca di recuperare consenso dopo averlo perso in maniera evidente. No, questo problema non c'è.
If Giorgia Meloni and the Brothers of Italy are going to face a serious challenge in this election, it's going to come from the Democratic Party, the country's main leftist party. But its leader, Enrico Letta, has said that he wants to continue the previous government's program. While many Italians are unhappy with the status quo,
Noi abbiamo un appuntamento con la storia di questo paese. L'appuntamento con la storia di questo paese è quello di rovesciare i pronostici, di cambiare il senso dei sondaggi. L'Italia democratica di progresso, progressista, europeista ed ecologista che vuole cambiare la storia di questo paese.
Italy's next.
There's something really funny about people who are like, we hate the status quo, so we're just going to do the most like status quo defending right-wing thing that you can do. In a country that is like going further and further right, we're just going to accelerate that as though that is somehow against the status quo. You're just reinforcing the same like hierarchy, but with a stronger fucking grip of power. So dumb. So incredibly fucking stupid and annoying.
This government will face serious challenges in the form of rising debt and soaring energy prices. Letta is hoping that voters will still have faith in the more established politicians to navigate them through these crises.
many Italians we've spoken to say they want change. What are you offering them that's different?
We want to continue what we did. It is the point of departure, but then we have to develop it and we have to continue on other issues, social issues, fight against climate change, individual rights.
What does it say about the left in Italy today that it's expected to lose an election to a party with roots in this country's fascist history?
We have to talk with young people. We have to talk with them. We have to convince them to avoid this destiny. Of course, the past also plays a role, but I'm mostly worried about what they want to do today, because if they want to change the role of Italy, the destiny of Italy, putting Italy aside with Orban, with Putin, Bolsonaro, Trump, it is not my Italy.
The word fascism gets thrown around a lot in Italian politics. Is it fair to call Meloni a fascist or a supporter of fascism?
Di origine fascista? Certamente sì, non lo negano neanche loro. 25 anni fa, non 100 anni fa, ma 25 anni fa, una giovanissima Giorgia Meloni diceva che Mussolini era un buon politico. Quindi diciamo più che la questione del passato, in cui sono certa che Giorgia Meloni troverà le parole per convincerci di aver fatto passare il passato. Il problema che si porrà è per il futuro.
So is there any risk of fascism or something resembling fascism returning to Italy?
Non c'è alcun rischio che torni il regime di Benito Mussolini.
Why not take a deal with no ads? Oh, fuck, man. They were totally offering that. Why didn't I think of that? That's it. I'm firing my management. Davidos11221 is my new manager now. Thank you. Why didn't I think of that, guys? Fuck. Thank you, though. Thank you for the suggestion.
Sarebbe ridicolo pensarlo. Ma l'autoritarismo può avere dei volti diversi. Quindi il tema è la spinta autoritaria che si può creare in questo paese. Faccio un esempio concreto. Secondo, se Giorgia Meloni vincerà molto bene, potrebbe avere i voti per fare da sola e senza il concorso delle opposizioni alcune riforme costituzionali importanti, come il presidenzialismo. Il presidenzialismo non è una bestemmia, è una forma di Stato che c'è in vari paesi. Il tema è farlo in un paese che ha un passato autoritario importante e farlo senza il concorso delle opposizioni. È un fenomeno tipico di quando si vive una crisi economica e quando le persone si sentono insicure vanno a cercare un uomo forte. In questo caso è una donna forte.
I'm Michael Lermont.
Here in northern Italy, there are some very rich families that got their fortune by snitching partisan positions to Nazis and fascists during World War II. Many of their kids and nephews still defend their ancestors' actions, and many of them are openly fascist. Not very surprising. Do people still not know Twitch forces ads on basically every streamer? Yeah. Do we have more?